Welcome to my YouTube channel, to this second live streaming. I'm Carlo Minzi. I'm a classical pianist, and I'm using this live streaming to talk about my work, the way I work, and what I'm doing. Um, in the previous live streaming, I have talked, I have given a general outlook of my work and my career and what I did in my life. Now I will go deeper in many respects. I will talk about my work, the way it does work, and why I'm doing this. My wife tends to blame me for working so much and for keeping practicing hours and hours at the keyboard because she thinks that since I have played so many years, I should be able to do this just the way I learned and the way I am trained. This is not the case. The reason is that not only because you must exercise every day, because fingers tend to become lazy throughout years. And this is very important. Fingers must be in perfect shape. There is a training aspect, a physical training aspect. Hello, welcome. Indai Camille's channel. Thank you for joining this live streaming. My wife also warned me to say hello to everybody coming in. I am not an expert in this live streaming, so you will forgive me for not being an expert and not being a good entertainer. I am a pianist. My fingers are better than my tongue, so forgive me for this. My wife is correcting me. She is a professional YouTuber. I'm not professional. And so I must be more colloquial rather than the professor I used to be. So for me, somebody is joining. Ambrosio Rosete, thank you for coming. I'm calling from heaven. Yeah, he was my father-in-law. Unfortunately, he passed away some years ago. And again, thank you, Inda Camilla's channel, for the good luck wishes, and let's see what we can do. I'll do my best to introduce people to classical music, which is my aim, and to show something I am doing. So I was saying that my wife blames me for working too much, but there is no alternative to this because this is a very hard work and requires, first of all, a continuous physical training. Fingers must be exercised, otherwise become lazy. And unfortunately, years go, and the older you get, the more the fingers need practice and exercise. And this is one aspect. The other problem is that you don't learn music once for all. The piece you learn once is not just something you have forever, because the way you read changes. You become more accurate throughout years. And therefore, something you have misunderstood in the past become more and more clear throughout years. So you must go back to every time I play a piece a piece I have already played, I go back to the score and I read it again, trying to see what I have missed, the signs I have missed, everything I have done. And so you have a very, very big work every day throughout years. This is the reason why I wanted to show, my wife didn't get why I wanted to use my computer and to use my YouTube channel to show you something that you have not, maybe you have not seen. So I will broadcast from my YouTube channel something you have not heard, and then I will broadcast something. Thank you, Hunting Vlogs, for joining this live streaming, and I want to show you how a piece changed throughout years. Now I beg my wife to help me in showing this. In showing this.
Maybe you cannot show first because you got copyright.
The copyright is mine. It's my YouTube channel. So, what the problem?
Hi, Mom Jelly.
Here we are. Now I will show you my performance of a piece by Claude Debussy. By the way, Claude Debussy passed away a few days ago in 1918. So we celebrate him today.
You can
And
the video.
and enlarge the video, which I don't know how to do. Here my wife helps. I think that the full screen, you mean?
For the screen.
Yeah, let me see.
Shout out everyone. Pasensyahan nyo na yung asawa ko. Isusunod ko yun dyan.
Schermo intero.
Mine,
Eccolo
yeah,
qua.
that one.
Eccolo
Ayan.
qua.
And then you can turn the camera in the computer like this.
And so we go back to the description.
Oh. Okay, you can play it and I just hold like this.
And let me just finish explaining. This piece, by name Le Collines d'Anacapri, the hills of Anacapri. Anacapri is an island in front of Naples. This is one of the preludes of the first volume. And I am now showing you a performance going back to 2007 in Germany. And later,
My love, they cannot see you.
and later, I will.
Yeah, I like that. You can instantly show.
And later, I will play for you a recent recording I have made for another YouTube channel. Can you put the help me now?
My love, I think better you play here than you show the piano. I think better you play the piano.
Well, I prefer to use this just because it's document.
Oh.
Okay, hold it.
Can I see? Is how long this?
4 minutes.
You know, I don't understand more about piano, but kids is studying playing piano. Piano. stop your channel.
Okay. Okay.
You can talk now whatever.
Okay, this is a performance going back to 2007. Now I want to show you the correspondent performance.
You can play the piano.
The correspondent performance I have here on my computer, which has nothing to do. Let's go to this. This I have prepared. This I had prepared a few days ago for another YouTube channel and for a conference about the BC. And this is the same piece. Can you imagine? Now, when we will comment. My love, can you turn again to the computer?
Yeah. What you want?
This. You have it?
Okay, wait, I'm watching you. If you can.
Shall we go?
Wait.
Mm-hmm. We're waiting to see whether the. Is it okay? Should I go?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Sudden, a while only, don't not so long, otherwise you.
Recap. The same point where I stopped the other. Here we are. And so
That's all.
you can hear the difference. I hope you have got of course, the pianist is the same, and you can tell. I had played the same piece, and of course you can find out that who here? Thank you, Gemfemei. Thank you, Dominos Gaving. Thank you for joining for joining to this for joining this live streaming. We were talking about the reason why I'm working so much and why my wife blames me for doing this, but this is my life and there is nothing I can do. I would die if I couldn't work. Uh, I love this work and I have spent most of my life here and and I think I will keep doing. My teacher, Mieszko Staforshowski, died at age 101. He was really lived till very long, lived very long. And when I met him, when I was in the States, when I studied at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, when I met him, he was already 85 years old and was still teaching. And he kept teaching in that school till the very end. Of course, he had reduced the number of his students, but he was still working. And he liked to teach to people, teach what he knew, and of course. But also, that year, I heard him playing in concert, and he was still quite active. Um, you can find on the YouTube, of course, I cannot broadcast this. You can find a moving performance of a Chopin nocturne taken when he was already 96 or 97. So can you imagine? This man was really remarkable. But many pianists worked till late. Just to mention a few, Claudio Arrau and Rudolph Zerkin,
This is the popular pianist, you say.
who were very important pianists, who lived till age 88, played until the very end of their life. Arthur Rubenstein, who died at age 96, played well in his 90s and had to stop because his sight was gone. But he played till a respectable age, 92 or 93. And of course, not all the pianists lived so long. This is not a secret. If should the secret of long life to play piano, everybody should, but this is not this is not true. We have colleagues who died very young, but nevertheless, I think that a pianist can never stop. There is no way, and of course, the older you get, the more you must practice, because you must summarize what you have done in the whole life. Let's go back to this Debussy. I would like to read comments if somebody had noticed the difference. And otherwise, I'll try to summarize myself. What you see immediately first sight, the first impression is that the second performance, the more recent one, actually, a few days ago, is a little slower than the other one. And this has a reason. It's not just a matter of becoming old or being unable to play faster. the problem is that the older you get, you must go into a more precise definition of details, and therefore you tend to play slower, to play all details written in the score, especially if you are trained in the German tradition. I remember that even my friend Norbert Breinin, whom we'll talk about in a in a future broadcast, a very important, a very important, a very important. He was a very important violinist who played an important role in my life, and he died in his 80s in 2005. We have cut many records, and I remember that we played the same pieces more and more throughout the years. And in the same way, I noticed that his tempos were slowing down throughout years because he was trying to take care of details more and more throughout years. So this is not my personal fixation, in spite of what my wife says. Even so, she says that I'm playing too slow and I'm becoming boring. And she's not she's not the only one. And of course, I know that I'm boring. I'm an old, boring German. Even if my passport is Italian, I was trained in the in the German school, so and especially in the German classical school. So I try to get. Oh, thank you for writing. You got this. You got this. Thank you, Jen, for me. I can I can read your comment now. Thank you for commenting. And what I and as a German pianist mainly, I tend to be as scrupulous as possible. And of course, we are human, so we are not perfect, unfortunately, or better, fortunately. So we are not robots. And therefore, what I say is that what is important is to play the most scrupulous way. In the past, I had written an article, I was requested, and I wrote and I said, what must a good performer do to properly read the text of music? What I said was, we have we have many important features here. And what we must do is first to supply the actual text. What you don't know, of course, you cannot know, but I will tell you. We have a problem with the edition of the text. In other words, the music sometimes is altered by the publishers, or better by the editors, who think they are better than the composer, and they correct their music and correct the composer's music, creating confusion. But also there are editors who are honest in their own way, and in front of some problems of understanding, they made up their mind, and they have to take a decision, and in the end they might also confuse the reader, namely the pianist. And since we are pianists and not editors, we have no time to go look after this. So we must trust the editor, and we must decide what to do. The big problem the big problem the big problem with this is that we have to deal with editors. In the recently, there are some websites which are publishing on the over the internet. We are publishing the first editions and sometimes also the manuscript of the composer. So we have a source which is more reliable, and so we have the possibility of being closer to the composer's will. And this is the problem number two. One. The problem number two is that once you have a reasonably loyal text, loyal to the composer's will, you have to deal with it. And what Norbert Breinin used to say, and I completely agree, is you must just act like a loyal soldier. You follow the order. Even if you don't understand the order itself, you just do it. Sooner or later, you will understand what's going on, and this will make sense to you and will make sense to your audience. This is the golden rule for a German pianist. This is not the overall outlook, and this is another problem with my wife once again. Many pianists don't do that. They just think that they are the owners of the music and they can use for their own purpose. Some of them are honest, just they have a feeling and they try to just to use the music according to their feelings. And there are honest pianists who do this. Thank you, Janine Morante, for joining our live stream.
Hi, Marjorie. Thank you for coming.
And so we have, there are honest pianists, and there are also, and they are now, the last generation seems to be this, dishonest ones who just use it to make a show. And now they are becoming the majority. And so I feel out of my place now as a pianist. Most of my colleagues in this of the area, of the cultural area I belong to, are dead. So I feel I feel a little bit as a survivor of this era. And my wife tends to say, keeps telling me that I should adjust to the fashion too late. And I would die out of it, and I will never do it. I will keep working in this way, and whatever it happens. And this is another reason for this live streaming, to show, to explain. Since I do no longer teach, I use this mean to explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing, hoping that my students will keep following it. As I said in my previous live streaming, I have many students who are around teaching in various conservatories in Italy. And I hope that I taught them something, and they are having advantage of what and the way we worked together in the past. And this is what. And what else? This is the most important thing: text and attention to details, to what written in the score. Of course, this doesn't mean that you have one only reading of the score. And this is very interesting because there is no guarantee that the reading is to be one. It would be easier. We wouldn't need pianists. We would have robots just performing what's written. But it doesn't work like this. You can read the same sign in different ways. And I use, and this is my personal contribution, I tend to say that the score is like an equation of n grade. So there are n solutions. And so, and also you don't know the value of n. So that means that we might have 5, 6, 7 solutions to a problem. And you can listen to pianists of big caliber like Rudolph Zerkin, Claudio Rau. Claudio Rau was my favorite, died in 1991. Alfred Brendel. I say some names, but I mention some names, but not only those. Thank you, May, for saying that I got this.
You keep watching. Thank you, Mom Jessie.
What I'm saying is that there are many pianists. Willem Backhaus was another of those. I'm talking about people who are a long time dead, unfortunately. I told you, except for Brendel, who is in his 90s now and retired from stage. Who else? Others are a long time dead. I feel lonely, frankly speaking. And who else? So there are many: Schnabel, Backhaus, Zerkin, Brendel, Rau, I said, but there are many more. Both belonging to previous generations. I might not know somebody who is around and hopefully is doing the same job. I hope that there are some. Of course, the world is so big, so we cannot know what's going around. And the big advantage and disadvantage of internet is that internet is becoming an open market, so I can talk to you. This would have been impossible just 10 years ago or so. But on the other side, internet is everybody's, so everybody can publish, everybody can talk over the internet, can live stream, and therefore there is such a saturation of the market, which makes things difficult to be spreaded around. So, and this is what I'm doing, what I hope to do, and I hope to keep doing. Maybe in 10 years from now, I will play this piece by Debussy even slower. Hope not, actually. And but for I am confident that I'll play it even more precisely and I will be able to give a rendition which goes to the goes closer and closer to the composer's will. Nobody knows exactly what it is because, of course, we don't have the composers here, and paper is paper, just something which tells you something, but doesn't say exactly what he wanted. Cannot be. The paper is not And we have another problem. We watch the music with our eyes, which are the eyes of a 21st century, 21st century people. That means that we are watching the score with eyes which are different from the eyes of the people who were contemporary of Beethoven, Chopin, whoever was the composer. So we don't know exactly, we don't have a certain kind of tradition. This has been lost forever. We don't know how Beethoven used to play. We don't have Beethoven's recordings, unfortunately. So we don't know exactly what he had in mind as a pianist, what was his, what we call in our slang, in the music slang, performance practice. We don't know how Beethoven used to play. There are no recordings. We don't know how Chopin used to play. We don't have recordings. We don't know how Liszt used to play. We have just a small document by Brahms, which is very funny, a few seconds, on was one of the first Edison cylinder, where he plays just 30 seconds or so of music. We can hear also his voice because he announced himself. And so, but this is, of course, not enough to say exactly. We have some ideas of how was his, or how his playing was, but it's just a small thing. We have something more regarding composers of the following generation. Rachmaninoff has recorded a lot. Scriabin has recorded some. And going. Nevertheless, here also we have a problem because the technology at the time was poor, so we are not sure exactly how how was his performance. Dynamics are slightly distorted, and also it's unclear how the real speed of the performance was, because the transcription on modern technology is always unclear and can create problems. Quite often, the transcription over the modern system is this performance is can usually plays faster on the modern CDs. So we don't know exactly, and it's very difficult even to know about composers like Rachmaninoff, like Debussy himself recorded some, and Scriabin we said, and of course the following generations. And so we have a big problem, a problem I have been facing for years, for decades now. I started my concert career in 1972. So next year I will celebrate my 50th anniversary on stage. So life is very difficult and become long. Thank you, Jeffrey May, for saying that I got this. I'm trying to get, and I will spend the rest of my life in getting. I hope I will be on stage for the next 50 years, even if I cannot guarantee. And so we have this particular with particular way of with outlook to my profession, which is, of course, not only a profession, it's a vocation. I always wanted to become a pianist, and actually not true. I wanted to become a conductor at the very beginning. Of course, I was studying piano because to become a conductor, you must know how to play piano because you must read scores. And so I started studying piano when I was 4 years old. My parents were not so happy about this because they thought that was not a safe profession, and also they wanted me to follow the family tradition. Was a tradition of university professor in law and economics. But unfortunately for them, my vocation was too strong. So basically, I am in the piano business now more than 60 years. And I hope to continue for the next 60. um, what else? Difficult to say. Unfortunately, nobody is asking questions, so I cannot answer to anybody. This makes things a little more difficult. I'd like to answer the question because today, for this broadcast, I have exhausted the argument I wanted to talk about it. I promise I will prepare more and more broadcast, more live streaming. I will talk about different arguments. There are so many. I will talk about the music I'm playing. I will talk about partners I had. Of course, I will devote for sure. I will devote. Unfortunately, I cannot play recordings of my teachers because of the copyright, and therefore I will forward you to the YouTube channels publishing my teachers' performances. While, and something I have here regarding my partners, and I will devote part of my next live streamings to my partner, especially to Vol, who changed my life, namely Norbert Breinin, and whom I mentioned, repeatedly mentioned even in the last live streaming. And about Norbert Breinin, I'll say there is something I can say. I talked about the way of reading music, of approaching the score. But there is something which is important for a pianist. This is my own personal idea, but I think it has. What do you mean? Anything wrong? I'm talking about music. I know how to say. Let's see. I was talking about Norbert Breinin and why, and for which reason he is so important to me, important for me, and as important to my life, to my way of making music. I am convinced pianists are a very special beast. They play an instrument which doesn't have certain qualities. The piano is a drum instrument. If you play piano, sounds are come out from a hammer which hits strings. So unavoidably there is a beat. You can try to play to bind one to the other, but it's almost impossible. So, but the piano was conceived to be a cantabile instrument like a violin and flutes. This is the reason why pianists are inspired by violinists. And we see that in the history of great pianists, there is also a violinist who becomes somewhat mentor. If we go back to the first great pianist, Franz Liszt, who was in turn a student of Beethoven, we find out that, and he openly said that his life changed when he heard the famous violinist Paganini, who was the most famous violinist at the time. He heard a concert of his and finally decided that he wanted to become a pianist playing like Paganini. So he had to change his technique radically, and he became a pianist in the style of Paganini. So in other words, Paganini changed his life. Years later, we had another pianist, composer, Johannes Brahms. And Johannes Brahms, who has become a famous composer, was also a pianist and started a piano career, which kept throughout his life. His life changed when he met another famous violinist by name Joseph Joachim, and he changed his approach to music, and they remained friends for life, even if they had fights throughout years. But Joachim performed his music and also was the first performer of his violin concerto. But also he learned about piano something from the violinist. There are many examples. I might tell you about Rachmaninoff had Chrysler, Rudolph Zerkin learned from Adolf Busch, who in turn became also his father-in-law, and so this is what I learned from Rheinin, a way of playing, first of all, a way of playing, of phrasing, a way of playing the legato is exactly what we pianists don't have by ourselves. So Rheinin has been quite important for me, has become part of my life, and I am happy that in the recent past I have discovered his old recordings of ours, which I thought were irreversibly lost. Thank you, Janine Morante, for joining conversation and for commenting. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Carlo Levi Minzi, and listen to the music I am posting. I hope I will be able to post more. In this case of Briding, I discovered videos which I thought were irreversibly lost. I didn't even know that the concert I posted had been recorded. I didn't remember at all. As you can see, this concert goes back to 1987 and was our first concert together. We'll talk about it in another occasion, and I'm glad that I could capture this video recording and to publish on my YouTube channel because deserves to be heard. And I am honored to have had the chance to work with this man for 15 years. We'll talk about this in the next in one of our next live streamings. And this just to say that there are a certain kind of things which happen to everybody of us, centuries notwithstanding. As I said, Liszt learned from Paganini, Brahms from Joachim, Rachmaninoff from Kreisler, Zerkin from Busch. I learned from Reinin. Who knows what's going to happen next generation? This we don't know, and unfortunately, I am not a prophet. I'm just somebody hitting keys on a piano, and this is the way that it works, and hope that you're going to like these live streamings and to and to approach classical music. And I hope you will become somewhat my friends throughout these live streamings and listen to, and will like to listen to classical music, not only to mine, please, to everybody, and to learn a lot. I will, I will gladly recommend some performer, of course, my favorites. I'm discovering throughout years, I'm discovering other people in the same. Just a few days ago, I discovered a Russian conductor I didn't know absolutely, but he's very a great musician, even if I don't agree with him all the time. Thank you, Biena Salvoro, for uh, for joining to this live streaming. Sorry for being you didn't hear what we were talking about. We are almost at the end of our hour, and but I hope you will join us next time. And what else? So I was saying, I hope that these live streamings will serve not only to start a dialogue between us, to but also to approach classical music, to learn, to appreciate classical music, to listen to classical music. This is another fight with my wife, who tends to to like music completely different, which to my taste is not music, but this is another matter. We will talk about it also in a.
It's my sister.
Who is your sister?
No, madam, I'm talking to you.
Okay. We have two live streamings going on now. And
Hi, my Friday. Ciao. Hi,
so we are doing this. Tiny Jenica, hello. Shout out means what? Oh, there is a problem with the voice. Oh, I'm sorry for that. I don't have a voice, a very loud voice. I used it for the whole life.
what's that?
I don't know what's that. And so, in any event, we are. I hope you will like music. You will like to listen to music. You will approach the classical music, and you will find out that this music is much more cultivated than just songs you used to hear, and maybe this will help you in appreciating this. By the way, I know that many of my listeners are from the Philippines or living in the Philippines. I have been there, and I have found out that there is music education in the Philippines. There are in Manila there are three orchestras and two conservatories of music. So I hope that these live streamings will help you to approach music and to send your kids to music school to learn. Thank you, Tinik Janica. And you can share on my Facebook. Feel free to request friendship to my Facebook profile, and also please visit my Facebook page, Carlo Levi Minzi Pianist, and please thumbs up to my Facebook page. Put like to my Facebook page. And we are now getting closer to the end of this.
No, it was 2 hours.
2 hours impossible, my
Yeah,
love.
you can do it.
I cannot.
Just suffer one time only you live 2 hours of your life.
Mm. According to my wife, I must succeed in having an extra hour. I don't know what to say because the end I have already talked about the argument of today. Otherwise, if I say everything, I won't be able to talk again in the future. So be patient. 2 hours is impossible.
Yeah, they can patient to watch you.
Akami too.
And then how many? What's your 1 hour? Another 1 hour so fast already. Yes, talk and talk.
No, I cannot keep talking and talking. Talk for me. Talk about music and say what you think about this music and say that it's
What the
boring.
different your music is the classic, and we have classic. I don't have classic music. We are rock.
Yeah.
And then you can show them the you can play one song.
No, I cannot play songs because this is well. I I am now showing what we are doing in a
You can
professional.
do.
No, I'm tired, my love.
See, like this, I can play.
Yes, you can play. This is exactly what I was saying. My wife thinks that just to play is just to hit keys. It's a little more complicated. And
Just listen naman. And then you talk. You ask question for my husband. Don't be shy. Hi, Mom. Yeah, she said. No,
Sayuri Isha, thank you for joining this live this live.
I write down their name.
mm, Sayuri Isha, where are you? Yasha. Oh, sorry for.
How you the way you read Yasha or Yesha?
I don't have the for me virtual hug. Thank you. I hope my wife is not jealous.
No, I'm not jealous. What are you talking about? Are you crazy?
Virtual hug. You know, my wife is quite jealous and always complains.
Oh, yeah. I know you don't need to tell that. We are Filipino, we are jealous because we don't want our boyfriend or our husband to share to anybody.
But yeah, I'm jealous of just.
And also, it's not Filipino jealousy, okay?
Of
Every
course.
woman that try to jealousy.
Well, there are many jealous people all over the world, but sometimes they
It's
exaggerate.
normal.
Ah,
Hi, Mami Asha.
present, Sayuri
It's
Yesha.
present. Yes, I already write down your name here.
My
Just
wife's.
ask question to my husband. What question you want to ask, you can free to tell.
Yeah, now it's your turn. I have.
It's not my turn.
No, you're not your turn, the turn of our listeners.
Mom babe, sorry. Good evening. Mom babes. This is my babes, you know.
Mhm.
Babes already.
Of course, please subscribe again. Once again, please
They already
subscribe.
subscribe about it. If they don't subscribe your channel, they cannot come and watch you. Really.
Tamsak Dan, thank you. Tyro Caberte,
Hi, Cairo.
thank you for
Hello, host.
joining.
Hello, host. Just greet them if you're nothing to say.
Hello,
Tyro Caberte.
Websoreg, thank you. Tyro Caberte. Who else? Oh, we are
Good
almost.
evening from Philippines, he said.
Well, good evening from Italy. Actually, good afternoon here. It's 3:30 almost, and we. No, it's 3:21. Yeah, and of course, where it's 10:21.
Yeah, it's 10:21.
And so I have shown something of my.
If you want to see the way he's playing, you can play his playlist. They have video in the YouTube. There it is.
Yeah, of course, there are.
You're free to see it. Hello, everyone here. Hi, Avin one.
Hello, Avin01. Thank you for joining us. Also, thank you, Kapit Lang.
Kapit lang. Oh, kapit lang. Hello. This is my viewers.
So we are.
Yeah, I invite them here.
Mm-mm-mm.
Thank you for coming and don't forget to thumbs up. Ayan, naglilista ako dito sa likod. Nandito ako sa likod ng piano.
And thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Please like my Facebook page, Carlo Levi Minzi Pianist, and you can listen to my music not only on my YouTube channel, but look, if you type my name on the YouTube search, you will find out that uh, I have many more performances published by my distributor. Thank you, Eds Adam. Thank you. Thank you, JJJ Poddy. Thank you for joining our live streaming and Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my also subscribe to the channel and put like on my Carlo Minzi pianist Facebook page. And repeat, you can listen to my music not only through my personal YouTube channel. There is also a parallel channel set up by YouTube itself. It's called Carlo Minzi Topic. And also there is more music published by my online distributor. Route Note is publishing my performance. There is something also on another distributor, online distributor by name Believe. You can find a lot of music, 18 Beethoven sonatas, Chopin, Schumann.
See what the different our music and the classic music.
Of course, our is far classical music is far superior. It's much more complex, etc., etc. Thank you, Jem V. Thank you, Esther. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to also to Arvin Pagapong for joining this live. Jadrako, thank you for joining us.
And then Jets ako. Sino kayo nandiyan? Jets ako.
What else? You can also listen again to my prelude, the prelude Le Collines da Capri. I have shown in the, during this live streaming. You can actually the live streamings remains on the YouTube, so you can see it again. People who have not joined us from the very beginning can see the live streaming, which will remain on my YouTube channel. So you can go back to it and listen to what we said. Thank you, Ahmed Madhiri. Thank you, James Arian Pagapong, for joining this live broadcast. Esther Concepcion, thank you. And I have already thanked Mr. Ahmed Madhiri.
Who's that?
It's fair. It's a man by name Ahmed Madhiri.
Ahmed Madhiri.
And I see that most of my audience is from the Philippines. I regret not to be able to speak Tagalog, and also it would be not fair to the other people. And Cloten Channel, thank you for joining us. Once again, people who didn't join us from the very beginning can listen to this live streaming later and can listen to what we were talking about. Hello, Limin Hugot. Thank you for joining us.
Sino pa yan? Ding me hugot. Chloe Hen. Chano. Yan. Sino pa yan? Ding me hugot. Sino pa yan dyan na yan? Sir, can you sing a song? Hindi yan kumakanta. Pianis yan. Hindi yan kumakanta. Sabihin mo, mag-play siya ng kwan, ng piano. Hindi singer yan.
Okay, we can...
No, Amore later. Hello.
No, I know, I'm saying that I can broadcast again the VC just...
Yeah, they can, if you see that he's live, you can come up. It's still the same with my live. I'm still taking entry for everybody. Hi, James. Okay, Ma'am Bella. Hindi yan kumakanta. Hindi rin sumasayaw.
Secretary ni Websoreg, thank you for joining us.
Yan. Maraming salamat sa lahat na nagpunta. Thank you sa 27 thumbs up. Huwag kayo magsawa tumingin asawa ko, ha? Mapait yan.
And
Megastar.
Megastar, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to this, for attending at this live streaming. We are. Thank you, Sora Azami.
Yeah, Megastar. Ayan, ay mga Megastar. Sino kayo nandyan? Nabilis ako dito. Ma'am, Secretary ni Babes. Secretary ni Babes. Ni Babes. Uri. Yan. Wala akong table dito. Nakaupo lang ako dito sa gilid. Megastar.
Thank you, Lee9, for joining us. So joining to this live streaming. And thank you, SW Contra.
And Sami.
Thank you for...
SW Contra. Hello?
Okay, what else? And the Golden Lives, thank you for joining us. And thank you, President Kaba. Who else we have? Now we are becoming a lot. Ailil Etnarom.
Ariel. Contra yan. Nabilis ako dito.
Who else is joining us?
Present ka ba? Golden Life. Charat man. Thank you so much. Present ka ba? My love, you can play the one.
We have it on the YouTube.
Yeah, you play your piano.
We can play on.
Just want to listen. What do you want?
No, I want. Seems that way. That my wife wants me to play the Fiorelise for you. I have it on the YouTube here, so you can also listen again when. Let's do
Go
this.
down live because lang sapat na.
Let's go to the YouTube.
You cannot play the arboretum, you copyright.
It's mine. It's mine.
Yeah, must be yours. Google's and YouTube, they don't understand.
Allora, this we have already done. Allora, now.
Charot, charot.
Let's see.
Then, Gcash lang.
Oh. What is that?
Yan. Maraming salamat sa support. Abogado ni Paige. Hi!
Here we are.
Malaki din understand what I mean. You cannot. That's why I played the I don't want to hear it from the TV. Otherwise, it's for your life today. Tell me.
Still going.
Nice to meet you, sir. Sabi ni Babes. No, classic music yan na ako, hindi yung ganyan na musika. Classic means to say Beethoven, Mozart, ganon.
Alert Motto, thank you for joining us. This is my YouTube channel devoted to my activity as a classical pianist. We talk about classical music. We show what we are doing.
Road to walking banana. Nice to meet you, si Simon Babes. Kundi na naman Bella banana niya. Kaya nga.
Thank you, Goshlang sapat na.
Kaya nga, parang
somebody is asking whether I can play the song "My Heart Will Go On," the theme song of the music Titanic. Well, this is not my job.
Yeah, you can explain.
This is not my job. I am a pianist. I am a pianist playing classical music. I'm not playing movie. I'm not playing pop. I'm not playing jazz. It's a completely different. It's a completely different work. I am not this kind of pianist. Sorry, we are talking about Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin. During this live streaming, I have shown something of my Beethoven performances, Debussy performances. Sorry, and this is what I'm doing. Sorry for not being able to fulfill your requirements. But I hope that by following this channel and listening to the music I have posted, you will end up appreciating a different kind of music, actually the real music. And to like what I'm doing, something I devoted my whole life and will devote the rest of.
Post na lang ma'am para makakuha na siya ng banana niya.
What else?
Uy, 38 thumbs up. Maraming salamat. I think also the MJ phone. Also, you know what? You can use the dummy account to thumbs up your own. That's why I asked you to make your own another dummy account.
I will.
And then,
Uh, can you play Vivaldi? Gosh lang Sabatna writes, can you play Vivaldi? Well, there is another kind of problem. I'm a pianist, I'm alone. What you are talking, the Four Seasons, is a piece for a string orchestra plus a soloist violin. I am only one, and they are so many. Actually, earlier I said that my first aim was to become a conductor, and of course I was studying piano, and
Did you
only
play
later.
DVD? What's that DVD?
Vivaldi is an Italian composer of the who lived some 300 years ago. Um, and needs many people play on piano.
Do you know how to speak Tagalog, sir? Alam niyo
No,
lang po.
unfortunately I don't. I know just one word, and my wife says that I shouldn't pronounce. Uh,
Ang alam niya ng Tagalog yung natutuwa siya kung paano siya magbigkas yung gunggong. Yun lang ang alam niya.
this is the first and only word I learned, and so. Well, I'm sorry not to be able to speak Tagalog. I learned English.
You know also how to say mahal kita, Mila?
Malkita pero, yeah. This is a famous song I heard, a famous song in the Philippines. Uh, but let's go. My Tagalog is quite poor. My words are very. And well, actually, I speak English. Of course, I speak Russian because I studied in the Soviet in at the time Soviet Union, now Russia, and I picked up some German and French. But Tagalog is quite recent discovery. I have been married just 7 years, and therefore. I had no time to learn Tagalog. Also, for the very reason we live in Italy. My wife has a problem with Italian, but I have the bad feeling that I speak Tagalog better than what she speaks
Don't
Italian.
say anything about me. Just do yourself, not me. Okay?
Well, you are cooperating or not?
Yeah, but you don't say that. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't.
Well, it's true. In any event, story goes as follows. Let's go back to the Vivaldi. I was saying that once in my life I wanted to become conductor in my past. This is my first aim, even if in the end I never I started. A career in conducting, but I quit quite early. Nevertheless, I continued conducting sporadically, and I have conducted concerts in Italy and in Russia, by the way. Mostly, I conduct music for piano and orchestra, so I play and conduct in the meantime. Uh, in one occasion, I played the piece you are talking about, the Vivaldi Four Seasons. I was invited to play a concert with an Italian orchestra, and so I played a Mozart piano concerto, conducted a Mozart divertimento, and in the first half, the orchestra hosted a Korean violinist who wanted to play the Four Seasons. So I conducted this piece too from the harpsichord. I played the harpsichord and conducted this for this Korean host guest. Sorry, they hosted, and she was the guest performer. That happened some 20 years ago or so. Um, and so I have performed the Four Seasons once in my life. Unfortunately, we don't have the recording of this. And there are many missing recordings of mine, unfortunately. I couldn't expect when my friends started recording me. I had a friend who was a professional eye doctor, but he loved music and liked to follow and liked to record. So he liked to follow me on my concert, and record. Many of the recordings I have published are his own. Unfortunately, this man died of cancer 7 years ago. And so I am still publishing this big archive, which will take years and years. Um, and this is my side work, apart from doing, which is my main job, which is playing, performing, practicing.
Well, you got 40 thumbs up, Amore. Thank you so much.
So thank you, thank you. We are already close to the 1.5 hour.
Yeah, post more.
Oh, enough,
Be
my.
patient, man. You know, you patient. Be patient watching you. You know.
We are patient to watch him,
Yeah.
to watch me. I'm sorry, I am not forcing
And then
anybody.
you must patient also to do what inquire.
Nobody is inquiring. No, you got this. You
Yeah,
got.
why inquire if you want to boast in your channel.
Mhm.
This is the inquiry.
And also, don't attend only at the live streaming. Please listen to the music I have published, and not only that.
You can thumbs up there also the music that you uploaded.
Yeah, please, if you like, thumbs up. And what else? And also, one day I will take you to part of my practice activity, so you can understand how hard is a pianist work, and can get what the problem connected to this.
Sir, our so very pogi at Mambela is so very maganda.
Thank you for my wife part.
Hindi naman, ma'am.
What do you mean, Pogi, by the way?
Magtahimik ka. Mas maganda nga eh.
What means Pogi?
You ask them what means pogi.
What means Pogi?
Ano daw yung pogi mong tahimik? Explain mo kung anong sabi niyan.
She's not answering.
Yeah, wait. Pogi is ayan, they teach you.
Um,
Hi, 7 million viewers. Thank you for
7
coming.
7 million. We have 7 viewers, my love.
Yeah.
I know I am not very popular, actually. This,
Yeah, they coming because of me, you know.
I know, but so you don't have you don't have big attendance either. We are
8 million viewers. Thank
8.
you.
8 million.
8 million we call the more, you know,
Mhm.
who play. Just thank them. Yeah, you ask them, teach you how to speak Tagalog.
Well, it will take time, and also
Yeah,
they,
depending on their work, you can
the
ask them.
day is 24 hours. We cannot.
You can ask them, they teaching you already.
Well, the day is composed by 24 hours. Some of them I'm practicing. Some of them.
Maganda is pretty. Oh, you know now.
This I know. This I know. Is one of the few words. Oi, 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 oi. What else?
Be patient to me, you say.
Why they volunteered to
My
attend.
love, you sponsor to my you can sponsor to my raffle draw on 7th.
What is the raffle? I well,
Of
this,
course, included their channel, that's why. Then they still always coming to you because of spoil, no?
mhm.
Sponsor.
Uh, oh, who is writing now? Oh, we are laughing now.
Ay! Nandiyan ang battery katabi mo.
Allora, what else?
6 million viewers, maraming salamat.
How many millions?
Can you play the piano, sir? Or just give them the example. Just the one that.
No, it's just a sample.
The one. Please, I also want to hear. Okay, I show them this one. Go.
Uh, oh, you want to see the piano? Here
Wait. I'm turning around because it's against the light.
Mhm.
Okay, go.
Here we have. Here we go. Let's see.
Yes.
And of course, this is
Bravo.
bravo. It's not bravo. This is a piece I have not practiced for a while, and in fact, was not precise.
No, for me it's good.
Yeah, for you, but I'm a pianist and you are not.
Yeah, it's for us. It's first time. See.
Well, if you want to listen to the real performance, this piece, which is you can find on the YouTube from a live concert in Romania.
Oo, meron. Itapon, itapon, tapon yung basura mo. Itapon mo. Ganon. Itapon, tapon mo. Basura mo. Basura mo. Ayan. Marami pa siyang piniplay niyan, yung mga classic music. Hindi nyo ba kilala yung mga sikat na mga writer and pianist? Yan, sila Beethoven, yung mga gano'n. Yung sila yung mga nag-play sa mga queen and king kapag may mga parties, gano'n. Sila yung mga nagpo-perform.
Well, thank you, Janine Morante. If you want to listen to something more professional, just go to my YouTube channel and listen the real performance.
Big set, this is Beethoven?
Dirty Beethoven, why
This
dirty?
is the song is Beethoven?
Yeah, it's Beethoven.
Yeah, it's by Beethoven.
You can find what we can.
Hindi naman talaga yan na...
I'll show.
Hindi, sandali lang. Don't need to show because later you cut your...
No, show. I show just the screen.
Yun na, Ma'am Tiny, hindi naman talaga pangungkwan yan. Ginamit lang nila para sa mga horror. So sad because magandang music pero ginagawa nilang kakatakot-takot. Yun yung kwan nila.
Let's go to my channel.
Kaya ko din yan kung makapag-aral lang ako ng piano, kaya ko yan. Kaya natin to. Ako nga rin, hindi ko kaya. Ang alam ko lang kaya, ito, tingnan nyo. Mary had little lamb. Ay, how to play that? I don't want to see my face in your YouTube.
Okay, let me see whether I can find.
Hi, 8 million. Hello, Ma'am Babes. Hindi ako pwede magpakita sa YouTube niya.
Like here, Beethoven. Is this? Show the.
My love naman.
It's here. This is the.
Ito yung kwan niya sa Romania. Yung concert in Romania. Ito yung play niya nung. Can you stand up? Ayan nung nag-concert siya, kasama niya yung orchestra. Yan yung play niya. Yan yung mga orchestra. Lagi siyang kasama niya mga orchestra o solo concert siya. Can you make loud? Big screen. Yeah. Ito yung concert niya sa Romania. Ako yung kumukuha ng video dyan. Kaya kapag pumupunta siya sa konserto, sumasama ako.
Kapag sumasama ako sa kanya, ako yung cameraman niya, camera woman. Okay, I think enough. You can talk. You can make it now. Yan. Ay, nakita mo dito. Baliw ako.
Here we are. But
Ayaw ko magpakita sa channel niya. Hi, 8 million viewers! Shout out! Magandang gabi. Na-miss ko kayo. Gusto ko sanang mag-live nung nandun kami sa Rome, kaya lang ang problema. Walang signal. Mahina yung signal. Next time, if I will vlog, I will show your face.
Show the...
What?
Show
What?
the title so they can see.
Yeah, you know why your channel, they already subscribed, they can go into your playlist.
But they must see where to go, since they don't know.
You have 80 viewers, 80 scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80. I think they see already.
Now we have 918. Yeah, we have.
My love, if you live, you don't say that subscriber. You say banana. They call banana like this way because if you keep saying that subscribe like that, or you say that you can go into my house, you just short like that. You don't say if you live. Otherwise, Google's and when they cut your subscriber. Hi, Ma'am Babes. Hello. Sabi ko, hindi ko mapakita mukha ko na sisilip.
Okay, now my entertainer will entertain for you since
I'm not learning.
I am not an entertainer myself, as you can see.
Learn how to entertain.
I will never learn this. There are pianists who are good entertainers, and we're not the kind of pianist I like.
Miss you, Ma'am Tiny. Oo, kasi nung pumupunta ako ng cheater, what you call that word? The big fellows. Pumapasok Castle, and then what? You cheater? What you call that? The one, the concert place.
Which one?
In the ones of... Alam niyo, pumapasok ako first time ko makakita ang gaganda ng mga upuan. Yung parang nanood ka ng movie na yung mga queen, nandun yung mga orchestra, siya. Sabi ko, wow, ang ganda. Ang dami ko kayong picture niyo, hindi ko pa na-ipopost.
A castle where
No, I mean, what you call that?
What? I don't
the
know.
The concert place.
Which concert? The concert halls?
No, what you call that the other way?
Concert halls.
Concert halls.
Or theaters, whatever.
Yeah, what you say it again?
Theaters.
Theaters. Theaters. Di naman daw totoo yung mga
I have the feeling that my wife doesn't speak very good English either.
Oh, my love, don't say that. I'm very nice to you.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
And I am now guilty with my Italian viewers since I'm always speaking English. You must know that in Italy...
They understand also because all your viewers is Filipino.
Now.
If you speak in Italiano, they cannot understand you.
Yeah, I understand. The problem is that in Italy, not so many people speak English, in spite of the fact that English should be an international language, but they don't, and so we have a problem. So,
actually, my love, I tell you something. Actually, I have so many viewers that is still single. You can find them for the mocks or what?
The problem, yeah, we have a good number of single men here. You might be interested in. The only problem, I warn you, people don't speak English. So if you want to be marketed in Italy, you must speak Italian.
See, if you play longer, let's say your video now, they don't remove because you play so many instruments. This is the problem to Google and YouTube.
So now we are close to the 2 hours.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Hi, 7 million viewers. Oh,
Where do you see the 7 million viewers?
there.
Ah, the eye. Oh, I have something
Don't
to.
worry, we can understand Mambella a little. Bakit little? Don't say that, Mom, babes. You say that bigger, bigger, and bigger.
Well, now it's almost time to go, really.
You're tired.
Yeah. And
Then what you doing now?
I am going back to work.
You work, you're not going to sleep.
Maybe a little nap and then go back to work.
What time now?
It's almost it's
you
4
say
o'clock.
that 1 hour and 48 minutes and 21 seconds.
Yeah, almost 2 hours.
And also, thank you so much for coming. Kung maka-live siya, sana hindi matanggal itong live niya ngayon kasi marami siyang pinatugtog. Sabi ni Inday Kamias, nandiyan nagme-message sa akin, nagagalit ng aking boss. Sana wag matanggal. Kung matanggal man, bukas balik kayo ulit. Sayang yung live niya. Ilan yung thumbs up niya?
So, thank you for
All
joining.
45 thumbs up. Maraming salamat. Yeah.
So thank you for joining us, and
I hope that you see you again when he's live. You just come in and then.
Looking forward to see you again soon, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking it, and once again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And like my Facebook page, Carlo Levi Minzi Pianist. Looking forward to meeting you soon, talking about another topic of my beautiful work and of my wonderful life I had, and looking forward to have more wonderful life. Thank you again for joining us.
You wait 2 hours.
I am starting saying goodbye since it takes time. And thank you for joining us. And thank you for liking this broadcast. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to make your friends subscribe. And please don't just subscribe, but rather please listen to the music.
Which is music we're listening.
And it's, this is real music.
Road to 1K na, Ma'am Bella. Kaya nga, Ma'am, road to 1K. Actually, 1K na yan, pero nabawasan. Binawasan ni Gugal.
Now we are not 1K yet, but we are looking forward. We will make it sooner or later. And in fact, we are using a StreamYard broadcast, which allows us to go there.
You know why? If you can get the 1,000, you don't need to go in StreamYard.
I know. You already explained me.
Ganyan din naman sa akin, Ma'am Bella. Kaya nga, ang laki ng bawas.
So, what else? I already repeatedly asked you to subscribe. I want to do it again.
They already subscribe because they're watching you now.
Okay.
What you need is you just sponsor to my game.
Now, what we do need really is you to listen to the music and to appreciate it.
Yes, okay.
Something I can say, and I would like to say, people tend to say, I don't listen to music, I don't listen to classical music because I'm not competent. And so I don't understand anything about this. So why should I listen to classical music? Wrong point. If you learn things if you practice them. In other words, if you don't listen to music, you will never appreciate it. You will never know it. You will never like it, and you will never like it more and more. And which is this is what the real power wants. The real power, the political power, economic power, wants you to be ignorant. Uh, in already in the ancient Greece, at the time of Plato, Plato was a philosopher who lived in the 5th century before Christ, 4th century before Christ, sorry. And he wrote a big book, actually 10 books, titled Republic. So he was talking about how the ideal republic should be. And he devoted a special chapter in book 3 to music and said that music educates people. And he made a difference between good music, what was the classical music of the time, with the bad music, uh, which was the correspondent of the actual pop, rock, whatever you want, and said that the bad music leads to taking illegal drugs, becoming bad citizen, etc. On the other hand, Plato says that the good music leads people to become better and better. So please listen to good music and become better and better. This is my last hope. And this is one of the reasons why I keep working throughout years. I have been working for almost 50 years. As I said, I started playing concerts in 1972. So I will celebrate my anniversary, my 50th anniversary in 2022. I hope we'll celebrate with you in another live streaming at that time, but I will see you earlier, hopefully. And what shall I say? Thank you again for coming, and thank you for liking it. For the last time, please subscribe and make people subscribe. My YouTube.
Just now it's 9:08. The banana. Take up.
And thank you for coming. And thank you for coming. And please
You can turn on your
subscribe.
computer.
What happened to it? No, 918 still.
I saw there is.
I don't know. Um, and let me finish saying thank you for subscribing. Make your friends subscribe, but more important, listen to good music, as Plato said, and please listen to good music and become better and better. Thank you for joining us, and looking forward to for another live streaming soon. Now it's time for me to go back. Thank you, Webs.org, and thank.
Yan,
And
naantok na kasi siya. Hindi siya makapagpigil. Almost one hour and 56 minutes na only, my love.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yes, Ma'am Babes, thank you so much. Ma'am Babes, Ma'am Genvi, Ma'am Tiny, kaya si Ma'am Janine, si Inday Kamya, sa nag-BBG, nandyan siya, Antique Vlogs. Yan, maraming salamat. Nabubuhay ang live dahil sa inyo. Ayan. Maraming salamat. Say maraming salamat
Maraming salamat.
sa inyong lahat.
What?
Maraming salamat
Maraming salamat
sa inyong
sa inyong
lahat.
Sa inyong lahat. I don't know what does it mean.
Thank you so much
Hi.
to all of you.
So thank you so much to all of you for joining this.
Oh, again and again. Repeat it again. No, just kidding you.
Enough, I think.
I
We
wish-
already bored our attendance.
we board our attendance. We not, of course, they support. Thank you, Ma'am Babes. Miss you, Ma'am Babes. Ma'am Genvi. Ayan. Hindi pa ako nagla-live. Siya muna. I 8 million viewers. Shut up. Good evening. Good day, both.
So thank you for coming. Good night. It's already 11 o'clock for you, and it's time to go for you to go to bed, for me to go to work, and to continue my activity as my activity. Thank you very much again, and looking forward to seeing again. My wife abandoned me. We are close to the 2 hours, so
Maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay sa aking channel. I can put it on it because I put my clothes and then it's still on. Excuse me.
and we have
Miss you to host. Miss you. Ayan, malapit na tayong mag 1 hour and 59 minutes and 22 seconds. Konting pagtitiis na lang.
thank you, Websoreg, again. We'll do our best to be to stay healthy, and you too. And looking forward to seeing you again for the next live streaming.
Bye, mom, babes.
And
Stay
now,
safe.
finally, bye, everybody. Thank you for coming and for attending, and see you next time. And the bro.
Did you talk? Wait, did you end live? Wait, it's 2 hours already?
Sì, 2 ore e 1 minuto.
Okay. Bye, mom, babe. See you. Bye.
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 Bye, mom, Tiny. Thank you. Go.
Bye.
We